Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making some sour cream or creme fraiche, which is homemade. And yeah, so I've got out what I needed. Before I start, you need to fill up a bowl of cold water, about this much. So I'm just going to do that now. So sour cream is really good for people with constipation like myself at the moment. Because it's high in fat and low in protein. So with like cheese and yogurt, homemade yogurt, which I haven't actually made because it's not good for constipation, is high in protein and low in fat. So you kind of need the fat in the sour cream. So let's get started. I've got a pan, so a saucepan. This is the only one that fits in my sink, so I'm going to use this one. And you'll need a hob, a flask, so I've got a big one. So this one's a litre one, so a litre one is good because I'm doing 750 millilitres of cream. And you need cream, so full fat cream works better because the fat in the cream is good and you need that. So full fat cream. And then I use Asda's own yogurt, so you need a live yogurt to make this work. I use Asda's own Greek style yogurt. This works for the sour cream. You can use sour cream or you can use yogurt. I think you can use kefir because that's a live product as well. So yeah, so I'm gonna get a spatula out. So I use a rubber spatula. Got my pan. I'm just gonna pour the cream. So I've got 600 millilitres here of cream. And then I've got another 150. So I'm just going to pour this in here. And this one. And I usually just try and scoop out the rest. Stop it. And then I usually rinse these out and then put them in the recycling, but I'll do that in a second. So you also need a thermometer. So I use this one. Which is from Amazon, and I just typed in thermometer, but I'll put a link in the description below. So it's easier to use a thermometer. Oh, I forgot to mention you need a half a cup as well for your yogurt. We're going to go over to the hob and heat this up just before boiling. You do this to get rid of any bacteria in it, I think. The thermometer is really useful, so I usually heat it up until about 80 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Another thing to point out is that you should be stirring it all the time. I'm not too sure why this is, but I think it's just to move it around. degrees. So I'm going to take out the spatula. So now you need a lid for your pan, which I've got here. And then you're going to put it on top and then put it in your bowl of water that you put together earlier. So I'm just going to do it now. So you just leave the lid on top, you don't need to just stir it or anything, you just leave it on top and then you cool it down to about 40 degrees Celsius. I usually do about 45 because it's like 44 to 45 degrees Celsius that you cool it down to, and that's why a thermometer is really good. If you don't have a thermometer you could kind of see whereabouts it is, and then if you cool it down and then you can check on your wrist, and if it feels slightly warm on your wrist, then that's when it's done. But if you have a thermometer it's easier to gauge that. So in this time I usually put together my yoghurt, so I'm going to do that now and show you how to do that. So I've got my yoghurt and my cup, which is half a cup. Just gonna get a spoon. So like I said before, this needs to be a live yoghurt, otherwise it won't work. So I use Asda's own Greek yoghurt. I know Total works, but Total, I've used Total before. But you need the fat content in it, and I think they've cut out their fat content down to like 5% fat. And so this one's full fat yogurt from Asda because that's where I shop, but usually own brands are alright. I've done it before at Lidl and that was fine. I find sour cream quite forgiving, so if you do like mess up slightly then I don't think it really matters. I'm going to do just under half a cup because it's half a cup for every litre, so we're doing just under a litre, so it will be just under half a cup. I'm just going to do, I don't think it really matters with how much yogurt you put in. So there's no time, I haven't timed it because it depends on how big pan you use, how much water you have in your bowl, and there's no like time limit, so I just do it, I just check it every now and again and give it a little stir. So while that's cooling down, I've done my yogurt. I usually just wait around now. You can eat the yogurt that you have left over or whatever, or save it for another sour cream making time, or creme fraiche even. So creme fraiche, the shop bought creme fraiche you buy is not, you don't know how long it's been fermenting for. So what this is basically fermented cream, and it lasts quite a while in the fridge. I've left it in the fridge for like a week, 10 days, and it's been fine. I usually ferment it for about 24 hours, 24 to 36 hours. I've left it for 48 before, and it's tasted absolutely fine. Usually the longer you leave it, the more sour it gets, and it's a little bit like, I want to say fizzy, but like, yeah, fizzy and sour. If I'm making more in one go, it's better because I do eat quite a lot of it, and it's, I mean, that's okay. Like, there's no limit on how much you can eat, so it's good. And then you can just leave it in the fridge for however long until you finish it. I usually make it about twice a week because I eat it such a lot. I try and have it every day because it just helps with getting the bowel moving and stuff. I'm just gonna have a look and see if this is ready. So I'm just adding my yogurt now. Sorry, forgot to press record. So it was about 45 degrees, which is alright. And then I just added my yogurt. And a rubber spatula is really useful for this. So just stir it in, and then you add it to your flask. Just gonna give this away. So this is a hard part. Okay. You can't see much, sorry. Okay. So I just added it to my flask. And then I'll put the lid on. I just usually give it a wipe. So and then you just leave it for like 24 to 36 hours, no less than 24. I've done it for 23, but that's because I was in a bit of a rush, but over 24 is usually better. I usually leave it for about 36. So I'll see you in 36 hours. Okay, so it's been about 36 hours since we made this. And the only tool you'll need for this is your spatula and obviously your flask with it in as well. And a tub. So I use, this is like a litre one from Asda, which I find it fits it all in quite well. So you're probably asking the question, how do I know when it's done? Because it won't smell that good and it will be thick, so you won't be able to like pour it as such. It will have like a layer on top. But yeah, it will be done after about 36 hours, minimum 24. So if you've left it for 24 hours, it will probably be done then. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you how to like get it out. It will be runny at first, but it like thickens in the fridge. I've had one batch since I've started making this year that's been like almost too runny, and I had to ask my mum to see if it was alright, but it was fine. So sour cream is quite forgiving, I find, so there have been times where I've been like, oh, I'm not too sure if it would work, but it has, and it's been absolutely fine, so don't worry about it. It'll be fine. You just got to make sure you use a live yogurt. I don't know if I said this already, but if you use like a raw cream, then you don't actually need to heat it up and cool it down, as it's quite full. So it's not like, so it's quite thick and it smells a bit. But yeah, you can see it's thickened up, which is good because that's what we need. I usually put the spatula in just to break the top of it. Also, this can get quite messy because my spatula fits in the top, but the handle in it's relatively short, so it might get a little bit messy, but I mean, that's okay. So yeah, it's not like too runny, but it's not like super thick. It will thicken up in the fridge, like I said before. Now I'm just getting around the sides and trying to get the majority of it out as well, as much as I can. Okay, I think that's as good as we're gonna get. Also, I've got really dirty hands. My flask has like a ring around the top, so I usually just put my finger in and eat whatever's in there. And then to wash this out, I usually just put in some water, put the lid on and give it a shake. Maybe a bit of soap. So now this is ready to go in the fridge, and it will thicken up and like keep some sort of formality as well over time in the fridge, because at the moment it's like a little bit runny. But it's really nice with mashed banana, like with a fork, and then you put a couple of tablespoons of that on top, and then you just drizzle it in honey, and that's really nice. I really like that. You can also put it in soups and stews. You could just eat it on its own with honey. I've done that a few times. Yeah, it's really nice if you're juicing as well, and you put it in your juices, and you hand blend it in there as well. So that's really nice. So yeah, you can do all sorts with it, or you can just eat it as it is, and like I said before, it's really good for constipation. And yeah, so thank you for watching this video. I really hope you like it, and now I hope you learned something new of how to make sour cream or creme fraiche. So yeah, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you very soon with another video.